Okay, so what we got going on this week? Starting off as usual on the welding bench or the workbench. I'm actually remaking the door skins for the Mark II Escort as they were completely distorted and rotten out at the bottom. So underneath, done the repairs there as well. But yeah, I'm going to do a little video on how I've made those. Because I have had to put them through the English wheel as well, just to get a little bit of a curve on it. But yeah, so we've got two of those to do, including repair the actual inner structure of them. But something that you probably wouldn't have seen is, you may have noticed I got the C10 out and had a bit of a shuffle round. Well, had a shuffle round again, and we have two cars in the place of that C10.
Look at all this floor space. So much aerobics in here. So many activities. Do step class.
So over here, we've got a Suzuki Cappuccino. I know, not really a classic, but it is all for good reason. Let me just move this door out the way. Rest up against there. But as you can see, it's on a chassis jig. Still got a bit more still on the jig. I made that recently.
Look at that! That looks like what you would buy from a store.
Since the last video as well. So I've got the chassis jig so that I can literally chop that car up and make sure the chassis stays straight. So I'm going to make sure none of it can twist, because I will be altering the structure by taking out all the top section and basically keeping the floors and drivetrain, and that is for the reason of this Nash Metropolitan. So this was getting restored years and years ago, but it never actually got finished, and I basically got asked to have a look at the project to make the call whether to restore it or scrap it, and I basically said we'll go down a different route of putting it onto a new running gear. We just had to find something that would fit it, because these are small cars, hence two of these cars fit in the space of that C10. Granted, the C10 isn't small, but yeah, they are pretty diddy. I mean, if you compare it to the bubble car, if you can get a look at that, it makes the bubble car look quite big. So yeah, that is going to basically become the running gear for the Nash. That a lot of people probably might have seen these, but these basically don't have wheel arches. The wheels are all tucked up on the inside, and that's another reason why we had to go for a small car. And for the K car market, it seemed perfect. Discussing with the owners of the project, that's the conclusion we come to. And these only have, I think they're a 650 engine. So people have motorbikes out there that have bigger engines than this. But it's quite surprising how much power comes out of them. They got a bit of pull to them, but then again, there's not much car to pull. So that's that. Should be interesting when I start making progress. So be chopping up and showing you me cutting that one up, and then get a couple of us to lift it onto that one. Again, with the chassis jig, made this recently, like I said, but this one is so I can dismantle it. So it can be basically put down all these different sections, the wheels come off, then ends up making 2 rails and 3 cross members. That one bolts together, unlike the one the Escort is on. That is all welded together, so that is completely rigid. But this one would be nice, because it was a bit of a question whether I need 2 chassis jigs or not. But I will be getting some plates for those, so I can use them as reference marks on there too. The other thing I've been busy with more panels. So here you go, a load of bubble car floor pans. I've got a few blanks in there as well, so I've pressed out 2 left-hand drives. I've got the former down the bottom of the workshop to do the right-hand drives as well, but they are basically symmetrical. So I have been asked to make a few of those, and I've got a couple extras as well, so I can keep those in storage and press those out made to order. Then I've just been making progress on the Escort, so I've basically finished up the floors in the front of that and got the rear quarter on. And then I'll be moving on to the truck, because that is going to be the disc brake conversion, needs to go on that next, and putting in a booster for the brakes, just because he's not comfortable with them, and it's understandable. But yeah, that's where we're at. I'm sure I'll keep you updated on any progress of what's happening, and yeah, it's definitely changed a lot. So yeah, stay tuned and see what else is happening.